We're live. This is the Comic Hall and Roundtable discussion. I am Matt Odom, Xavier Randall, AL, aka the Dusty Brick Brown, is in the building, and we're here. It's Saturday night. What's going on, everybody?
I can't call it work, and more work.
Work, and more work. All right, well, let's go ahead and get down to business. This week was a big week in the comic world. As we know, DC Comics has brought out the proverbial whooping stick, and everybody's got a dose of whoop ass out of this. Let's go to the screen share here. Thing lined up. That with me here. And we got DC. What does the DC new DC implosion means for the comic publisher? Well, we saw Aquaman got a dose of it. Hawkman got a dose of it. Suicide Squad got a dose of it. Was it Teen Titans was in that too, Xavier?
Yeah, Teen Titans was in there. Said November.
Young Justice.
Yeah, Teen Titans got a dose of it. So I mean, fellas, is this DC going back to basics and say, you know what, let's start over again? Or is this DC saying, you know what, we just said we need to just scrap some of these folks that we're not using and start from scratch again with them? Or is it a case of we're gonna start focusing more on HBO Max? X, I'll let you tackle this one, man.
Honestly, I don't think it's any of the above. I think it's all AT&T not knowing how to handle the properties that they have, being that this is so far out of their zone. You know what I'm saying? I'm all for getting rid of books or characters or titles that aren't working, but it's a lot of these in here that has driven a lot of money for them. You know what I'm saying? So I just think it's something they don't know what they don't know what they have. They don't know how to handle it. They don't know what to do. So they're just trying to close it, which I know early in the group when we were talking about it in our private chat, I put in the comment, if anything, if they're trying to sell, this ain't doing them for hurting their profit and the chance of making any kind of profit. You know what I'm saying? Because if you close all the books off and they end up selling DC, they ain't got nothing to fall back on.
Al?
Well, thank you for joining. For everybody that joining, I keep looking at the window. It sounds like it's about to rain real hard outside. But thank you for joining us. We appreciate your viewership. The videos and the stories that I've read were pretty much it kind of lends the typical downsizing that we see in today's culture in regards to big business and everything. One article that I read was pretty interesting was the fact that they said that DC or AT&T rather went through and decided to start chopping a cut of books that weren't actually being profitable in their eyes, even though the books might have been good sellers, like the Hawkman. They said Hawkman right now is like on the fence. They don't know for sure, but more than likely it's probably going to get canceled because they said even though people that read the book have applauded the book for being a great read, it ain't making no money. And I read another article where they were saying that they were going to focus more on Batman. And I mean, it's like, yeah, Batman is DC's cash cow, but they got other properties. But I mean, they started really trimming the fat about a month or two ago. They canceled my boy's book, Shazam. The last issue is coming out in September. And I knew that book was going to eventually get canned because me and probably Dougie Jim down the street probably the only two people that collect that book. Well, actually, I've seen a couple people on Instagram, but I was actually shocked for Young Justice because, that's one of Brian Michael Bendis' baby. But I did see an article where they were saying that AT&T is actually revisiting Brian Michael Bendis's contract. So, I mean, based on the fact that he's writing all the Superman books, and according to sales, Superman's not been profitable, he might get Dax. He might go to working minimum wage like he working at Crystal or something, But it's kind of hard to say right now, man. I mean, they really throwing that guillotine around, man. There's been a lot of people on the chopping block. And I've also seen situations where they were saying that DC wasn't satisfied with a lot of the books because of the current culture with comic books, as far as, this get woke, go broke type situation. So I don't know, man. I mean, it's kind of a scary thing because, comic book stores just got out of this whole rut with everything being shut down, and some of them, of course, are trying to eye gouge, I guess, to catch up. But then again, you're looking at all these books that's actually getting canceled. Like, so what is it that DC is going to offer? And I'm going to say one more thing, and I'm going to give it back to you. There was this video that I watched of this guy on YouTube. I think his name is Yellow Flash 2 or something. And he was actually doing a video, and he had an article that he was reading where DC was talking about there's a possibility that they may just go into trades and may just do trades, at some point, and just cut out the periodicals in terms of comic books. And one other crazy thing too that I saw the AT&T was doing, they're actually looking at selling Crunchyroll, which I'm thinking is kind of dumb considering how hot anime is right now. With this HBO Max, you would think that they would just roll that over into that and get an additional viewership according to subscriptions, because you got people watch all kinds of anime, but
yeah, like that's kind of ridiculous, man. If they do away with that, that's wild,
Yeah.
I get it. I understand. I see both sides of it. Like, I definitely understand where y'all coming from with that as far as Crunchyroll, but I got a Crunchyroll account and it's the free one. So how many do they have? Way more free accounts than they do people that are paying the premium.
Like I said, you could probably just take that content. HBO will buy it. Say, hey man, look, you know what? Let's, we got, go through. I'm sure they won't take everything that's on Crunchyroll, but they got some decent shows on there.
It's already a Crunchyroll feature on HBO Max.
Really?
Didn't know that.
It ain't a lot of content on there, but it's one of the the streaming services. Like, if you scroll down on HBO Max to the bottom, you'll see HBO, DC, Cartoon Network, Adult Swim, TMC, Crunchyroll is one of. It's like 3 other ones down there, but it's not the stuff that we necessarily watch on a regular, but they do it's a couple of animes on there.
Let me ask you this, Al. Do you think and I'm just throwing this out there now. This is nothing that I've heard or read or anything. What would you all think if DC, if we go all in on HBO Max, and it creates hate to use this term in this type of situation, but a rebirth of DC, because a resurgence, of DC picking back up, and then because right now I kind of think they're in a little bit of a funk, and part of this is stuff we've talked about this before, is AT&T stepping in on who is it? Warner Brothers. Who is it I always get wrong? Xavier. Warner Brothers, AT&T.
Warner Brothers.
Yeah, Warner Brothers stepping in and botching movies left and right. And I think now the chickens are coming home to roost because they're not able to put out, like, I'm pretty sure Wonder Woman was supposed to come out this summer, so we're probably looking at a good piece of change that got delayed. And so you look at that and it's like, okay, well, that's out the way, and then you look and say, well, okay, well, what else did they have on the docket outside of this death metal and all that, and that's winding down. So the only logical thing I can think of is that that they're hoping that HBO Max, that this stuff for HBO Max, which they've got good shows going over there, and also You know, DC Universe was I consider the way they rolled it out was horrible. You know, they
Yeah.
they could have had that. You know, for months, me and Al kept saying that that they should have had this on the PlayStation. DC University on PlayStation. I mean, for months, almost a year, we were just yelling left and right, left and right. You know, and we never got it. And so that was a missed opportunity. I mean, people were clamoring for that, and it was a missed opportunity. So I think DC has put themselves in a little bit of a hole here, and I'm thinking that if maybe HBO Max can can take off, then maybe we can see, as you said, a resurgence. But right now, man, it's kind of like the unknown. I know Jim Lee came out trying to put out fires yesterday, you know, saying that yeah, we still in the comic publishing business. But yeah, at, I mean, to what extent, you know? So,
Jim Lee can only speak for himself. He can't speak for the entire company.
well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. He just went out, he trying to put out a fire. So, I mean, you know, just try to stop the bleeding.
Shoot, that drop of water ain't big enough to stop that entire fire.
But the thing of it is, Jim Lee right now is that face that most comic book collectors know and to a degree trust because he's Jim Lee. You know what I'm saying? So,
hmm
I mean, when you're looking at that, he gonna do what he can to try to, perform damage control. It's man, I'm telling you, man. What's up, Larry?
What's going
But
on, bro?
So, bro, Larry. Yep.
it's I mean, we're in a time, man, where um comics is just, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, with everything pushing towards digital and all, this is the crazy part. It's the conundrum. The whole thing with comic books in terms of publication, people are still actually buying comic books. It's just the market, in my opinion, can get so overwhelming with books to where the publisher can't really make money because they're trying to throw everything they can to the wall to see if something sticks. And that's the reason why we seeing all this trend and all these books and stuff going up with the speculation and stuff, because they're trying to find something that's going to try to keep people interested. But really, I mean, we all know I mean, just do good stories. I mean, that's what it all, for me, that's what it's all about. I mean, I don't buy comic books just to look at a cover. The majority of the time, I'm reading the book to see what I can read and then get entertainment from, What's up, Big Remo?
Larry, what's going on, brother? You
What's the
you there?
case?
You delighting in this, ain't you, man? This is
Nah,
straight
man.
WWF WCW stuff to you, ain't it?
Nah.
This is this is
I
divine.
mean, bro, my book, the best book I picked up this week from DC, man. I didn't care about the story, the counterpoint Al's point, but that Supergirl cover, man, was everything to me, so I had to grab that one. But
How many books did you buy?
What matter? As Al said, what sorcery is this?
How many books did you
Cat?
buy that were DC?
oh, it was just one, bro. But I mean, hey,
Oh, see, you said you bought, as in made it seem like it was plural.
nah.
Proceed. Proceed.
This is
But
horrible.
no, I mean, like y'all always say, man, with WCW, WWE, competition, man, makes everything great. I don't think DC's going anywhere. I think they're just going to massively cut down on what they publish. And I think you're going to see, if you thought the Batman books took over, then I think you're going to see, because they sell. I think you're going to see the Batman books kind of take an uptick and everything else take a back seat. But I think they're going to be. I don't think they're going anywhere. I think the DC universe is going to migrate to HBO Max, and I think they're going to keep the shows that move. I think Warner just, after AT&T spent all that money, man, trying to buy what they bought. Now they got to try to run. They got to try to kind of even everything out, get the money back, and do some other things. Unfortunately, it's at the expense of some of the other media that they had. So
Go ahead.
but
Go ahead.
the thing with that though, I get what you're saying, Larry, but even Al can attest to this. I mean, Batman's been one of the front runners, so to speak, or in the front, just because their story has been so great. Just like the Flash story was great, Green Arrow story was great when it first came out. Harley Quinn's rebirth story was great.
Mm-hmm.
Did I say Flash already?
You did.
I did. But that just show how good it is, because I'm gonna go back to it. Even Nightwing's rebirth story was great. You know what I'm saying? So the Trinity, even though it started out great, it kind of died down, but you notice it's not even a bunch coming out ever since. What's the other one? Teen Titans were good.
Yeah, that's real good.
Whatchamacallit? What's the other one? Red Hood and the Outlaws. They were good, and it started dying down. So you know, it's,
Well, I think what you like Al was saying, I think you gotta try to keep people's attention. I don't know, and I know Al was saying you gotta make good stories, but I guess what everybody considers a good story is kind of subjective. I know Jim Lee was saying one of the figures he threw out was that the bottom 25% of their books weren't even making even. So I mean, you know, I don't know what people would consider a good story.
Well, see, my thing with that is that you see, okay, so when you see Marvel, when they send out their publications for, and DC too, they focus on the main, like the bread and butter, which I can understand. I get that. But if you're trying to catch lightning in a bottle, wouldn't it help to basically say, okay, well, we want to put a little bit of steam behind this one particular book, and we want to try to keep some pressure. And I'm gonna go to this analogy, and I'm gonna use this forever, and I call it the Roman Reigns principle. You put yourself in a position where you have a product that you're trying to push. You push and push and push and push and push that product. Now, if you get pushback from people, then you might want to go back and tweak everything that you're doing. But just like X said, I collect that Flash book, man. And that Flash, the guy that was writing Flash, Joshua Williams, man, he was doing a really good job on that book. He's no longer on the book, I think, after the next issue. But that book has gone almost 100 issues since Rebirth. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean,
4-year span, right? That's in what, 4-year span?
yeah. So I mean, it's been a steady. It hadn't, of course, I sold Batman, but it's been a pretty strong book. I think, and you're right. Stories are subjective, but I mean, at the same time, when you're looking at a situation like House of X and Powers of 10, the consensus is it's a good story. I mean, you can always have a few this, man, that story sucks, man. Why they on Coca-Cola and all, all that kind of stuff. But the majority of people, if you can actually capture the presence in the audience of a good number of people and keep them interested in it, then I mean, you that's half the battle right there. It's just keep putting out the quality product or something worthwhile to where people want to go to the comic book store and purchase it.
Go ahead, X.
just to kind of piggyback off what Al was saying, especially with the stories. So without these stories and Rebirth being so good, we wouldn't have other good issues or story runs like um, Doomsday Clock. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for Batman Rebirth and Flash Rebirth with those lenticular covers with the button, you know what I'm saying? We wouldn't have those. If it weren't for Teen Titans, we wouldn't have Dark Knight Metal right now. So you put out a good story, it can lead to something else, which is something that we've been saying that Marvel should do for years now instead of starting all over from scratch, But we just collectors.
And just to piggyback off, we playing ping pong right now, but just piggyback off of X, Immortal Hulk, great book. The Thor, great book. X-Men at this point is a really good book. What was the other book that Donny Cates writes? He writes what is the other book, y'all? He writes stories.
You say Venom?
Venom, yeah, Venom. I mean, that's proof positive. I would probably go on a limb and say those are probably the top 4 best-selling books and Marvel right now. You know what I'm saying? You put a good artist on the book, man, and I mean, I'm gonna give you an example. They got that Immortal Hulk, man. They have the right formula. Al Ewing is doing a really good job with the writing. Then they come out and the A covers got Alex Ross art. Man, you can't beat that. People are eating that stuff up, man. But what 2/3 of the Mortal Hulk are key books.
Yeah, matter
You
of
know
fact,
what I'm saying?
the one that's getting ready to come out is a key book. That's
You
going
know,
back to
I
number
mean,
2.
just like with Venom. I mean, the last few issues of Venom been keys. The last few issues of that new Thor run have been keys. I mean, people like that kind of stuff, and if it's tied into a good story, man, people will buy that stuff. Man, people buy a 1-in-1 variant with I don't know, Colonel Sanders' face on Venom's body or something. You know, they'll scramble to buy that stuff, man. But you got to put a product out there, man. You should know that, Larry, man. You got to put a good product out there, bro.
I'm not disagreeing with you. I agree with you totally. I'm just saying. All I was saying was, what's a good story? It's subjective, you know. Like the Immortal Hulk. I thought it started out well. I thought it kind of died off myself, but a lot of people are still buying it. But I also think a lot of people are buying Immortal Hulk because I'm not saying it's not a good book, but also like y'all saying, everything that they're putting out right now is pretty much a key issue. So it's like one of those things where you keep collecting because you might miss a something valuable, or do you stop right now because you don't like it? You know what I'm saying? Like you also got to factor in that as well. The same thing with Venom. I mean, Venom, when it started out, I don't think anybody cared about this whole Noah thing at first. Then all of a sudden,
not at first.
Right, and then it just exploded. When people start seeing the value in it, then it's like, okay, this book, like.
And then they start going back looking for what's the name?
Thor God of Thunder series.
No, what's the God Butcher?
Yeah,
whatever his name is.
Number 6, and number 6.
Yeah, they started going back looking for that just off of Noel and how. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Now it's Venom Lethal Protector number 2.
So that's what I'm saying. I think a lot of this stuff goes back to what's actually collectible and what's actually people think is going to be valuable, as well as a decent story. You know, but Venom also can sit on the shelf. You know what I'm saying? If nobody cared about Noel, if he was there and they didn't raise a big fuss about him or Virus and all these people they throwing out right now, those books would probably sit on the shelf.
Yeah, but you know what though? Those, to me, when they brought Venom back out, man, the way those stories were, they were better than what's out now, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? Because we actually got story. You know, it wasn't new person this, new symbiote that, new suit, new this, new backstory, new. It was just piggybacking off of Eddie Brock getting Venom back. You know what I'm saying?
Right. I personally hate, man, that the way I like the story, don't get me wrong. I just hate kind of that they taking everything
they took.
Yeah, they taking everything from Spider-Man. It's like they're saying now the symbiote was this, that, and the third, and the Noel already had the thing on his chest. You know, I always thought that came from Spider-Man, me personally. But so
all right. Next up, Spec Alert. Batman 102 is heating up. Hadn't came out yet, and it's already on fire because the Ghost Maker is rolling in town. And so this is a book that's being talked about in the spec group, as you can see here. A lot of people are already trying to hunt it down, trying to see if they can pre-order it for places that are out there, you know, your eBay sellers or what have you. Xavier, resident Batman master here on the panel. Your thoughts on the new villain showing up?
Time will tell. Yeah, I ain't. When it comes to Batman and his rogues gallery, for a new villain to pop up and instantly be the greatest thing ever is rare. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's gonna sell just because it's a new character, and we live in the spec world now, where speculation drives the market. But when it's all said and done, it's gonna drop right back down to what it should have been the whole time, unless he takes off. But he ain't gonna be no Joker. He ain't gonna be no Two-Face. He ain't gonna be no Ra's al Ghul. None of that, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you want it, go ahead and pre-order it. Because if you don't, it'd be $56.38 when you review it.
And that's a week before it come out.
Right.
Hey, that's first print, by the way.
Right.
We ain't even got the 6. I think I think the day I saw somewhere Thor is on fifth print of 1, 2, 3, and 4. Fifth print. Fifth. They just
1,
keep
2, 3, 4,
That's
Phil.
that doggone killing joke treatment right there.
yeah. I mean case in point.
Yeah,
Batman.
I think it takes time, like X said. I think it takes time for villains to for you to actually say that they're worthy of being, that type of price. So it took Two-Face, it took Joker, it took all those people a long time to establish it within the mythos of what they were going to be.
Right.
Those were very, very valuable characters, but just to jump out the way, and that's what I was saying last week about these companies. They also control part of the narrative as far as the spec goes, because they know what they're doing with driving new characters in order to draw themselves hype with these books. But no, I think I don't know much about the character, but I know, like y'all said, it's probably gonna drive a hefty price within the first 2-3 weeks of selling.
Yeah, you just never know with these books, man. Like especially with Batman villains, the modern Batman villains, man. You just don't know what you're gonna get. I mean, it's like X said, uh, I can't think of any villain outside of the Batman Who Laughs that's actually stuck. I think that's one of the main reasons why that book was so popular. It was a villain, that Batman villain that stuck for a while. They had quite a few over the last few years, but they just couldn't hold.
It's because of the different twist.
Yeah, and
That
so
was it with him.
yeah, and so when you see what's coming out now, it's just like one of those, you gotta wait and see. But like Al said, at this point, if you want to get the book, you better pre-order it.
Hey, everybody's best friend right now. Anything that you see that you want, you better start looking ahead.
Yeah, go ahead and pre-order, because if you don't, then you're gonna be hurting, man. You're gonna be hurting because it'll be $65.
And some people got to take some chances, man, with this pre-order. You got to, hey, if you want it, you might get something that you don't want in the end, or something that's worth nothing. But you got to take a chance.
Hey, Al, what were you finna say?
No, I would say you was right. I mean, Batman probably got more villains than Spider-Man. And I mean, like you said, the whole speculation market and stuff it's gotten to a point, like with Punchline, and I'm pretty sure people that actually went out and bought that Punchline book when it first came out, looking at the prices now, that book dropped considerably.
Yep.
Considerably.
Yep.
So
just like the Robin King gonna drop.
Yep. I'm waiting for it to drop, so it'd be like $2.30.
Gonna get that in the dollar bin. I'm telling you, man.
Well,
yeah, man. Hey, Al. Give them the update on the store, man. You said you went by the store, man.
It'll be free comic book day.
That shall remain nameless. Hey, I predicted it last week, but the store that shall remain nameless. I went the other day looking for that God Loves Man Kills Part 2, and I just happened to go through the DC section, and they had the Dark Knight's Death Metal, first appearance of Robin King, still $25. I counted them twice, and the 15 issues that they got when they first got the shipment is still on the shelf. So
ain't gonna try to get us to join a pull list. No, you get out of here.
Womp womp.
Get out of here.
Larry joined it. You joined it, Larry.
Well, if we think about the same store, I try to share the wealth, man. So you build good relationships with everybody.
Yeah, you really gonna share the wealth if you frank with them?
Man,
$25.
Shoot.
Hey, just go to your HR, and when you do that direct deposit and just split it,
just get an account with them and just straight to it.
Just PayPal them like $50
one book.
Yeah,
one book
every check.
This week, y'all, as I stated, the two main books that I know for sure that I've heard supposed to be key books this week is the Venom 27 and also the Immortal Hulk 36. Now, I've actually seen the spoiler for Immortal Hulk 36, and for those who have the Alex Ross, the first appearance of Dr. Fry, that book is actually started to pick up. Let's go over to eBay.
Boy, you and TC, y'all some walking spoiler alerts, boy. Y'all, man, like y'all don't even wait for the book to come out to read it. Y'all know what's gonna happen 12 issues before it happens. Yeah.
Hey man, you know, hey, I have to make sure I get my deals before it
Hey,
get out of hand.
hey, to each his own. I read if it's in my pull list. I read that book when it's turn.
As you can see, I was already looking at
Good
that earlier.
night.
Let's go back. Oh, by the way, that's a badass cover. By the way, that Wonder Woman cover. I just click on it so folks can see it. That's a badass cover. Venom 27.
Boy, ain't no telling what's finna pop up in that search history.
That ain't the one you got to worry about.
Hey, ain't no telling what you, my boy.
No, but
Don't type in DEB.
Oh God.
but as y'all can see, now these never stood a chance, man. I saw when that went on pre-sale, they were gone within like 5 minutes. Hey, Larry, did you see that when they went on sale? Man? Yeah, they were like gone. They actually had a one that come out. They're all black. But I mean the even buy it was $60, and that was with the trade. So I was like,
So them two books $200.
yeah. Go ahead, Al. Go ahead and let it rip, man. Hey, how you
I like
79 watches.
That 79 watches.
hey, keyword watchers.
Yeah, they want to see what idiot buys.
Right, because if they wanted it, they would have already got it.
bingo?
I ain't gonna lie. I be watching so much stuff on eBay just to see what fool actually spent the money.
Now I do that too, and I do it sometimes to see if the seller actually discounted too. Because
Hey,
sometimes
get out my mind because I was just about to say that.
yeah, that happens quite often. I get them like, man, you ain't dropping 8 cents.
Them relisted books, boy.
Your price, the price has been dropped 1%.
Right.
Yeah, so you're starting to see some of these books starting to tip back up because this one, that first print, man, that first print is outrageous for this one, but that's just come down a little bit, 74. But it's starting to tip back up due to 36. Now you already see people trying to roll out 36 there.
That fourth print down there is what's going on.
Which one? This one here?
Right there.
Man,
Don't DT collect hope.
yep.
Oh, only person I really know that collect hope right now is Derek.
He ain't listen to me. It's okay. I ain't nobody.
We also got this particular issue of Detective Comics. Pop up here. They hadn't got it up there yet. But I think after this week, Suicide Squad is done after this week. After this next issue, if I'm not mistaken.
They are.
That's about it, man. Unless then we get down there.
Man, I was collecting the Suicide Squad when they first brought it out with Rebirth. I don't think I made it past issue 9.
Al, you read Excellence? Yeah,
Mhm.
read that. Yeah, I think if Sean's still in the group, if Sean's still in the chat, yeah, I think Sean's reading it. I think it was somebody I talked to. Might have been Sean was talking about on this show. So that's pretty much about it. Let's go check out our hot books. Let's go see what after all that hype last week. Oh well, what do we have here? August the 13th, 2020. $17.95. Some fool paid $110 for it.
Said typical sale. Well, that's graded though.
Yeah. Raw, $18.
And that's $15.
Hey man, the man could have bought that book and sent it off to get graded himself and still have some money left over to buy another slab.
Yep.
Let's go to the classic. Yeah, this was another one I've seen on a couple lists this week, man. Yeah, see, yeah. Sean was, yeah, yep. That's what it was. I knew it was one of y'all. Now this is a book that everybody on this panel, everybody watching this show right now should have this book.
That's what I'll tell you about. I said, man, you remember the holographic cover with Venom on it, man? I said, why is it going up?
$20 for a book that was 50 cents.
Why is it going up?
It's supposed to have like something to do with Anne Wang in it. And they finna do something with Anne Wang in the new Venom series. So
I mean, look at it. 84. You see this, Larry? $84, man.
yeah, bro.
That's absurd. $84,
And
man.
then what Eddie brought some of that.
Here we go.
Yeah, still there. He in 26 and 27.
Just asking. I ain't heard nothing ever since.
You know,
He had all that hype for a week or two.
This was one that was specking. It went up and then it went back down. I think some people just trying to wait to see what he was trying to say, why is that book going up?
Yeah, I was thinking that myself. Why is it going up?
Because it's the spec, as X said last segment, man. We are in the spec society, man. Bro, you can go find that at the Coca-Cola machine.
Dang.
I mean, that was like, that's the giveaway when you start to collect, man. Hey, man, you need some books. That guarantee you get that, man. Yeah, man. You got the gold Venom cover, man. No, this one is actually starting to pick up to this Star Wars, man. I think that there's somebody supposed to be doing one of the shows, one of the bounty hunters, supposed to be like a female bounty hunter or whatever. And this one is just like exploded in the last couple of days. But once again, we're back into the spec society. Now, I thought it was a pretty cool cover. I actually started to buy this cover, but then pull the trigger on it. The Ice Cream Man.
Now I would have bought that.
Yeah, Dr. Seuss throwback. I actually almost bought that.
They're gonna do a Master P hip hop variant.
Except the shocker.
No, the straight P. Not even the gold tank.
Man, let's just throw number 4. Let's see what that's going for now. That's about right. It's about right. Yeah, it's about right. Because everybody's still trying to wait. Now, with this, everybody's trying to figure out what he wanted to get. Larry, I heard 5, I heard 4, I heard 6, I heard 2, I heard them all.
Yeah, number two is going through the roof right now.
5, that's the other one. 5, Our bi-monthly Port 181 check. Let's see what that's going for, fellas. Right into the
Matt, we know, Matt. We know.
Got it checked out. All right, Larry, we got some good stuff for you. Hold on, let me start sharing this screen. I got some specifically I pulled for Larry. He's gonna love this, and he's gonna say, "I told y'all that's what they were doing all along." Larry, Xbox boss. Our approach isn't about selling more consoles than the PlayStation 5. It's a fundamental difference.
Because they can't.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
I don't think it has nothing. I don't think it has anything to do with that. I think it's just.
Yes, it does.
I think in this market, man, they finna kill it because think about it this way: Microsoft has a long-term strategy. I think they knew from the beginning that they couldn't beat anybody in the console market. They just want to get their foot in, and once they got their foot in, now think about what they're doing. They don't care if you buy an Xbox or not for the next generation. It's all about PC and how they can tie the Xbox Game Pass in, crossplay, and everything to the next generation. It's not about the Xbox at all.
So why make it? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. So why promote crossplay if they're not concerned about selling Xbox?
If you buy one, you buy one. But if you don't, it's not. I don't think it's any sweat off their back. I think Microsoft was losing money on console sold for years.
Well, stop making them.
For the most part, every company has. I mean, they don't really make money off the systems. They make money off the software that's being sold.
But think about this: the only part of Sony that's actually making money is the PlayStation division. Now, if you go further, because basically what you create now is smaller PCs. So once you get into the market, because the PlayStation can't compete with the PC market. So once you get to a point where the games are just PCs, Sony doesn't stand a chance at that point.
We want people to feel like they're a member of Xbox, and that membership in Xbox isn't about one device. It can be multiple devices. I want to have a great experience on the television, and I think Xbox Series X is absolutely going to deliver that. And I'm incredibly excited by the lineup of games that we're building, but it is a fundamental difference in the traditional console war as people talk about. How many consoles do I sell versus how many consoles does another company sell? Sony or Nintendo, other companies back in the day, that's just not our approach.
So why invest the money into making it at all?
Because,
if you're not worried about selling it, if you're not worried about selling it, why are you putting it out on the market?
Once you tie those services in, those subscriptions in, X, that's where your money coming from.
Well, you can get that from the previous consoles. Why go out with a new one? It's the same exact thing on a different console. Xbox Live is the same whether you log in on the Xbox 360, the Xbox One, or this new Xbox that's coming out. It's the same.
But you do want to have a competitor in the market. You gotta have. You can't let Sony take off and then
you can say that as a consumer, but what you just said contradicts what they're saying. We're not worried about outselling the next person.
They didn't say they didn't say they want to win. That's the key. They said they want to have something in the market. Sometimes all you gotta do is get your foot in to take over.
Look.
Who thought Microsoft would have stood
my trash ass Washington football team is not gonna go out there and win a bunch of games right now, but we still going out there with hopes of winning. Okay, the Miami Dolphins, when they were they still awful, but when they were worse, they still played trying to win the game. Now they weren't successful at it, but they were trying to win. So don't nobody go out there like, hey, look, all we want to do is make sure that they secure their spot in the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We want to go out there and just get ran over and look like fools and just give y'all money. Don't nobody do that.
Think about what I just said. When Microsoft first came into the console business, you thought they stood a chance at anything.
I did. Me too. I bought one.
I did. I bought it. Larry sold it. Larry and TC were laughing at me when I bought mine.
Who honestly thought the Xbox could compete with a PlayStation at that particular point in time?
I did.
I said the number was probably very slim.
Man, this is the first console that had internal storage. Come on, that was brand new. Everybody felt that was gonna be the way of the world until you tried to take that bitch from the store to your car and realized you had to work out just to do it.
Competing with the PS2, bro, it didn't stand a chance. Now the 360 turned around and surprised everybody and won the next one, but it quickly turned around and lost the next generation.
And the only reason Xbox 360 won was because the online gameplay through Xbox Live was far superior. So that goes back to what I was saying is Xbox Live is the same on all of those platforms regardless. So
right, but
what is your argument?
But you do know that you can no longer buy Xbox Live by the year because they get ready to come out with a new bundle that you're gonna have to buy that does everything. It's the same thing Apple's getting ready to do with the Apple One thing. They don't care about the iPhone, bro, because they make more money in services than they do the actual iPhone. But if you buy iPhone and we tied in with those services, now we all of a sudden we got a whole different ball game.
So they're gonna force you to take Game Pass if you don't want it.
Hey, that's it.
So you want to push customers away?
I don't think you do that way, X.
If America is all up in the air about wearing a piece of cloth on their face to protect themselves and others, now you forcing somebody to have to buy something that they don't want.
They don't have to buy it.
Yeah, okay. Well, they don't have to survive as a game console maker either.
Bro, I don't see Microsoft going anywhere.
Microsoft might not be going anywhere. The Xbox might. Shut up.
The virtual boy. The graveyard. I'm gonna say this and then I'm gonna leave it alone, man. I never really liked the Game Pass because I like physical media. And I know the physical media is eventually gonna die and go the way of the dinosaur. But I don't like the notion of having games on a server or downloading games to a system and lightning hit it, Thor's outside fighting Hyperion and Mjolnir.
Fighting Kratos.
Yeah, they just destroy everything. I'd rather have the digital. I mean the physical, but I mean it is what it is, man. But my thing is if people adapted the principles of just enjoying a game system for what it is, we all be in a better place. That's all I got to say. I'm just talking. So.
well, fella, it's been a while since we had a show this. We ran through a show this quick, but we're not going to just completely roll out because we've got polls tonight. Al, let you go first tonight.
Man,
brother.
I went first last week.
Okay, well,
he's so happy about the box.
Hey, I got a box too.
Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah, that was good.
He just want to be that guy.
Yeah.
Lord, what he got in there straight from Japan.
Look, he been throwing it all up in the chat all
right. Oh,
I do want to do the show
to show everybody.
You got some from the Iron Chefs over there.
Look at his cheeks. You see his cheeks about to bust his eyeballs.
Hey, you know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is. It's a sketch variant of Matt from Peach Momoko from her backyard. That's what it is.
Probably. Look at him. He can't. He's so scared to open it right now.
Yeah, I am. Actually, I am.
I know you are.
I want. It's actually not a comic book, but it's actually something that is extremely rare.
Y'all didn't see how thick his neck got while he was opening that box. Oh, yeah. He's so happy over there.
I am excited about it.
Hey, it ain't no Gremlins, are there?
No, but it's actually the rare Japanese version of Sade.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Vinyl.
Well, you better put that joker back in the box.
Right. Going right back in
right now.
It's a miracle, man. That came from Japan.
Yeah.
But you know somebody if you got that from Japan into America.
Hey, they still got Camelot Musics open over there, don't they? Turtles records and CDs.
There are comic books. I do have Batman 92.
Peppermint. Hey, what used to be the name of it? One Stop Shop.
No, One Stop Music on the east side.
One Stop Music. Well, that was the only place you can get Pastor Troy album from.
Yep.
Number 1 and 10 variant.
It's pretty graphic, ain't it?
Stay Puff, man. I hunted this sucker down. After we got off the air, I was sitting there and I hunted this sucker down here, boy. I want to get that. That cover. Hell yeah, that cover bad as hell. I'm getting
Shan want it right now.
Yeah, you on that too, big Shan.
Yeah, I know. He want it right now.
Right now.
He about to pull up at your crib.
All right, y'all. That's all I got. Larry, what you got over there, brother?
I ain't got too much, bro.
When you say that, you pull out about 30 books, man.
That's not, man.
Every time.
I got every Deadpool variant that came out in the last 2 weeks, and I got some that come out next year.
Captain Marvel 19. Captain Marvel. Peach variant.
Peach Momoko.
Yeah. Ghost Spider number 9.
Peach Momoko.
With Gwenum. And X-Force 11. With your boy X on the cover. Omega Red and Colossus. And I actually got the Supergirl back there in the window. I feel like get her.
He wants somebody to steal it. That's all that is. Because it's DC. He ain't going to miss it.
Oh, I love that cover, man. I'll put that one somewhere. Like I said, man, Art Germ and Supergirl equal automatic pickup, man.
You going to... Okay, man.
Well, I ain't got but 3. So I gotta wait. Why you put it on me, man? Like, you have to do that. But hey, I appreciate you. I appreciate you, man. Big Girl's number 1.
Big Girl.
Hey, Al, I got that same calendar, brother.
Charlie Brown.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Adventure Man number 3. Larry, you might like this one, man. It's Matt Fiction and the Dotson family.
I like that cover, man. That's nice.
Terry and his wife, I can't remember her name. It's a pretty good read, though, man. Apparently, they teamed up. I got this one in the mail yesterday, courtesy of Urban Legends of Brandon in Florida. Check them out on IG if you get an opportunity. Somebody brought in a collection, and shout out to Stone Cold Steve. He was looking out for me and saw it, and I went ahead and scooped it up. But this is one less book off of my X-Men list. X-Men 64, first appearance of Sunfire.
Nice.
How many you got, Lil?
43. 43 left, and I had a full run. And they remember say look like Prince. Hey, you know what? Hey, you might want to see the folks that make bitter root to get them to do a Purple Rain with Prince and Marday on the cover. I'm on the stage.
All right, well,
That's it for me.
That's it for us this week, man. Next week we are off. We'll be back the following week. And we appreciate you tuning in tonight. Short show. And we'll be back with the post this week. I had to work, so I couldn't get around to the post this week. And so we'll have that back starting next week, and we'll get some stuff for you. So make sure you stay locked in here on the Comment Hall and Roundtable discussion. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. I want to say thank you to Xavier Randall, Larry, HBKLC, and Dusty Rick Brown, and for myself, Quarter Circle Forward Fierce Punch. Hope y'all have a great night. And thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of the Comment Hall Roundtable discussion. Peace.